What is there to say that hasn't already been said about the amazing Yamaha tenor saxophone, the 82Z? It has great response, huge dynamic range, and just feels so good in the hand. And today I'm happy to announce that we are looking at the 82ZA in the beautiful amber finish. Stick around. Howdy everybody, my name is Andrew King. We are here at Alamo Music. Don't forget to visit us at alamomusic.com where we have this saxophone and so many more for you to check out and peruse. Today we're going to be looking at a special saxophone, the Yamaha tenor saxophone, the 82ZA, with the amber finish custom Z. This instrument is just bananas. It's really good. It's like there's not really much else to say, right? It has great ergonomics, the sound quality, like the amount of tonal variance you can get out of this horn as far as like dynamic contrast, resonance, the way your air just goes straight through it no matter how much you put into it. It's an instrument that elevates the musician that plays it. When you're getting into these kind of saxophones, like these elite saxophones, it's really important to remember that these are instruments that are supposed to kind of boost you up as a player. So you want to make sure that you're boosting you in the right way. Now, these are very minimal boosts. Like when we talk about like, oh, this really makes the tone much better, or anything like that. It's really important to remember that the scale of which I talk about those boosts is very minimal, because a lot of the sound is going to come from the player, right? So it's very important to remember when I talk about the 82Z and going on about how much the sound comes out better, or the free-flowing air makes it so that the notes come out easier. It's really important just to remember that these are very minimal, but they're just enough. That's just enough to boost to be noticeable between instruments, right? Because you want that. You're going to be spending a lot of money on an instrument like this, so you want an instrument that's going to be able to push you in the right direction of which you want to go. And the 82Z in particular is just a really good instrument to call on if you're wanting something to play over an ensemble or through a band. You want those really good, clear tones, those really good responses, and just powerful, just basically you want power. You want power out of the instrument, and this is perfect for it. The instrument comes with a lot of great features, and we've talked about it with the 82Z before. So when I'm talking about this one, I want to kind of bring it to the point of, with this kind of lacquer finish, does it really change anything? And the answer honestly is no. This is still the same 82Z that you would get in the other finishes, which is going to be your standard. You're going to get your amber, and they used to make a black one too. And what ends up happening is that this finish will basically just look really nice, right? And that's kind of what you're going for. You want an instrument that has a really nice look to it. And if you're going to be spending this kind of money anyways, why not get one that looks like the one that you would like? So we've already talked about how the 82Z is just a spectacular kind of jazz machine, right? It's an instrument that'll boost up your power, it'll boost up your sound, and it really allows for a great kind of playing. And we've had a very in-depth conversation about that before. But the difference between this one, the amber, and the regular version is really going to just be pure aesthetics. But that's really important. I think for psychological reasons, different looking saxophones give kind of a different tone, give a different, I don't know if you want to say aura or anything like that, but those instruments exude something different for everybody. I've been selling saxophones for years, like about 10 or 12 years now, and it's super important to know that how the instrument looks and how is almost as important as how it plays when it comes to these levels, because these instruments are going to play well no matter what, right? You're investing a good sum of money to play on an instrument that is going to respond to you, never get in your way, actually make things better and easier for you. And you want to be able to have something that responds to you in more ways than one. And if aesthetics is really important to that, then albeit everyone should have the kind of aesthetic they want. And I really enjoy this one. The look of the 82ZA is just pristine. Basically, it's kind of like an inverse of the normal kind of Yamaha look as far as like the regular gold lacquer that's usually on these instruments, the nice brass lacquer. It basically lets it so that the flower markings, the beautiful etchings that are happening on the instrument, a lot of the indentations and everything come out more, and it just really accents the instrument in a very beautiful way. And I think that if that's something that speaks to you as a player aesthetically, artistically, that means that it's a better instrument for you. So I do think that there's a good conversation to be had about instruments that look better for a player, for everyone, because that is why we want to pick some saxophones over others most of the time, right? Because especially when we're talking about instruments that already play super well and just respond anyways and do everything you want it to do, when you're doing like 85-90% of the work anyways, it's good to have an instrument that kind of gives you more of an edge in that department. So anyways, let's go ahead and look at the instrument real quick and have a listen, and I'll see you in a second. So, what did you guys think? I really enjoyed the ergonomics on that personally. I think the entire instrument just feels great up and down. The ability to just blow through it, it plays just as well as its contemporaries, right? The normal 82Z, this one, they all play the same, and it really, really does show. And just having that kind of aesthetic look, it's just super important, right? I do think it should be noted that this kind of elite level saxophone, it really isn't for everyone. I think that if you're an experienced professional player and you're going into this with the mindset, I'm used to this kind of airflow, I'm used to this kind of instrument, I think this is an instrument that you can sit down with, bring into your own, and you can find your sound, and it's great. I don't think this is the horn for someone who's going into college and learning how to breathe. When you get into college and everything, there's going to be a chance for you to pick up and get your own really good saxophone, right? You want to get the best one. And like, I'm this way with phones, most of all, right? You can get like your Samsung 23 Ultras or whatever, and you want to get the best one right out the gate. Well, when it comes to saxophone, there's going to be some extra things going on that you really want to make sure that you're able to take. This saxophone is not very forgiving when it comes to how precise you need to be with your air, the kind of vowels that you need to be speaking when you play certain notes up and down on the instrument. And I do think because of the V1 neck on tenor saxophone in particular, if you're not already used to playing this kind of horn, it can be a lot to take in and get your sound back that you're used to, like on maybe a student level tenor or an intermediate. My recommendation is if you're going to college and this is your first like professional tenor, totally go for the 62. It's a great instrument, plays all the way, it plays great, the intonation's awesome, and you can learn a lot on that you get anywhere, that basically you'd still get on the 82Z. What the 82Z is going to do is if you already have strong foundational principles when you're playing saxophone, strong air, good attack, very good airflow as far as pushing the envelope with that sound, this is an instrument for you, 100%. If you're already used to that, go for it. So I do recommend that if you are going into it, make sure that you are prepared for what you're going to be going through with this instrument and changing. This is one of those specialized elite level saxophones that it's up there with, I really do think it's up there with like your Supersonics, your Mark 6s, as far as having that kind of airflow that makes it speak properly and give you exactly what you're asking it to do. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to get in the comments. Really do want to see that. What is your first professional saxophone? I would really want to know that. There's so many different ones out there that sometimes even I miss a few. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.